Have you ever seen the elements in the periodic table and wonder about the properties and uses of each element in it? Well, today we are going to look into the properties and uses of one of the well-known element in periodic table, which is sodium. In this video, we are going to look into the properties of sodium, uses of sodium in daily life, effects of sodium on environment and health, and the uses of sodium in forensics. Sodium is a chemical element in the first group and the third period of the periodic table. Sodium is an alkali metal as it is placed in group 1 of the periodic table due to its single valence electron in its outermost shell. Sodium is the most common alkali metal and the 6th most abundant element in the Earth's crust. It exists in numerous minerals such as feldspars, sodalite, and rock salt. Although sodium is the 6th most abundant element on Earth and comprises about 2.6% of the Earth's crust, it is a very reactive element due to the presence of its single valence electron in its outermost shell. Because of its extremely reactive nature, sodium never occurs in the free state in Earth's crust and must be prepared from its compounds. In the year 1807, Sir Humphry Davy became the first person to prepare sodium in its elemental form by applying electrolysis to fused sodium hydroxide. Now let's look into the physical and chemical properties of sodium. Sodium is a shiny and silvery white metal with a waxy appearance. Sodium is also a soft metal which is malleable. Sodium can also be easily cut with a knife. Sodium exists in a solid state at room temperature, and it has a melting point of 97.8 degrees Celsius and boiling point of 883 degrees Celsius. The density of sodium is 0.97 grams per cubic centimeter. Due to having low atomic mass, sodium is the third least dense of all elemental metals, and it also can float on water. Sodium is a highly reactive metal. It combines and reacts with oxygen at room temperature. When heated, it combines very rapidly, burning with a brilliant golden yellow flame. Other than that, sodium also reacts violently with water. When sodium reacts with water in the presence of phenolphthalein indicator, the solution quickly turns pink, indicating the presence of a base. This is because as the sodium reacts with the water, it forms hydrogen gas and sodium hydroxide. The presence of sodium hydroxide, which is basic, causes the change in the color of the indicator. Since sodium can ignite on contact with water molecules in air, it must be stored in a moisture-free environment. Sodium metal is usually stored under a liquid that does not react, such as kerosene and naphtha. Sodium metal has many important uses in our daily life. For example, it is sometimes used as a heat exchange medium in nuclear power plants. Other than that, sodium is frequently used in making light bulbs. Many street lamps today are sodium vapor lamps. Their advantage is that they do not produce as much glare as do ordinary lights. Besides its metals, sodium compounds are also useful for us at times. For example, the sodium hydroxide compound is used in soap manufacture. Sodium hydroxide is also used in paper making and paper recycling. Other than sodium hydroxide, sodium chloride, which is also known as common salt, is used to cook and dice roads in winter. What are the effects of sodium on the environment and health? Sodium is an essential component of the human body. It is necessary for humans to maintain the balance of the physical fluid system. Sodium is also required for nerve and muscle functioning. It's true that sodium is essential in our daily life. However, too much sodium can damage our kidneys and increase the chances of high blood pressure. Therefore, an adequate level of sodium intake is required to maintain good health. As for the environmental factor of sodium, once it is in liquid state, sodium hydroxide leaches rapidly into the soil, possibly contaminating water sources. Other than that, sodium compounds, such as sodium chloride, can be fatal to some aquatic animals at high concentrations. Now let's look into the uses of sodium in forensic science. In forensic science, a sodium compound, which is sodium rhodizonate, is used to identify the presence of lead. The sodium rhodizonate test provides a color reaction indicative of the presence of lead. It can be employed around the periphery of a hole or defect to determine if it is consistent with the passage of a bullet. That's all from me. Thank you for watching.